Welcome to this video lesson on factors. Please make sure you watch the video carefully. When you are finished, post 2 questions or comments on Edmodo. So a factor is a number that you multiply to another factor to equal a product. So for example, 12 is the product of 3 and 4, and 3 and 4 are factors of 12. So I give another example at the bottom of the page. You can see that 6 times 2 equals 12. In that number sentence, 6 and 2 are the factors, and 12 is the product. There are a couple other vocabulary words you need to know to really understand factors, and the first is a composite number. So a number greater than 1 is a composite number if it has at least 2 factors that are not 1. The factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Those are all the different combinations of numbers we can multiply to get 16. So 16 is a composite number. So I have a question, is 9 a composite number? Well, let's think about it. Is it greater than 1? Yes. And does it have at least 2 factors that are not 1? Well, let's think of what the factors of 9 are. The factors of 9, we could do 1 times 9. So 1 and 9 are both factors of 9, but it has to have at least 2 factors that are not 1. Can you think of anything else we can multiply to get the number 9? We can do 3 times 3. So 1, 9, and 3 are all the factors of 9. So does that have at least 2 factors that are not 1? Yes, it does. So 9 is a composite number. Then we also have something called prime numbers. And a prime number is a number greater than 1, and it is called a prime number if it has exactly 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. So 5 is a prime number because think about what we can multiply together to get 5. 1 times 5, so 1 and 5 are both factors, but is there anything else we can multiply? There isn't. And one way you can kind of think about if a number is a prime number is I have 5 hearts here in this row. And my question is, can I make more than 1 equal row of hearts? So I have these 5 hearts. If I wanted to rearrange them to make 2 rows, I wouldn't have an equal number in each row, right? I would have 3 in one row and 2 in the other, or 4 in one row and 1 in the other. So if you cannot make more than 1 equal row using that number, then it is a prime number. Another example of a prime number is 7. Think about that for a second. What can you multiply to get 7? Well, we can multiply 1 times 7. Are there any other numbers that we can multiply to get 7? No. So since 1 and itself, the number 7, are the only factors, then it is called a prime number. So here I have some number sentences and with some missing factors. So I want you to think about these as I talk about them. 28 equals 7 times what? What's the missing factor here? Hopefully you said 4. The next one is 72 equals what times 9? So again, 9 is one of the factors and we're missing the other one. What belongs in the red box? 8. What factor times 8 equals 40? 5. So 5 and 8 are factors of 40. 7 times what equals 56? 8. And then 81 equals what number times 9? 9. So 9 is a factor of 81. So when you need to find the factors of a number, so for example, the directions here say find the factors of 12. You have 12 equals 1 times 12. And I think this is a really good way to find the factors is to make an organized list. And that way you don't skip any numbers. So for example, think of all of the different numbers you can multiply to get 12 and start with 1. So 12 equals 1 times 12. Then you go on to the next one. 12 equals 2 times 6. So 2 and 6 are factors of 12. The next one you would do would be 12 equals 3 times 4. So 3 and 4 are factors of 12. Now you would go, we already used 4 in that number sentence, so then we would go up to 5. Does 5 times anything equal 12? No. And then we get to 6, and we've already used 6. So right now we know all the factors of 12, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, whoops, and 12. So we found all the factors of 12 there. Then I have a question here, is 3 a factor of 21? So again, if you're trying to figure out the factors of 21, start with 1. 1 times what equals 21? 1 times 21. Does 2 times anything equal 21? No. So 2 is not a factor. Does 3 times anything equal 21? Yes, 3 times 7. So is 3 a factor of 21? Yes. Down below there's a question, is 3 a factor of 26? Again, we know 3 times 7 is a factor of 21. So let's see, 3 times anything a factor of 26. The answer is no. So 3 times no number equals 26, so therefore 3 is not a factor of 26. Now, is 4 a factor of 60? Yes, it is, because 4 times 5, no, I'm sorry, not 4 times 5, 4 times 15 equals 60. So 4 is a factor of 60. Is 4 a factor of 84? Think about that for a moment. Yes, it is, because 21 times 4 equals 84. So is 4 a common factor? And common means something they share, it's the same, and the answer is yes. 4 is a factor of 60. It's also a factor of 84. So we can say 4 is a common factor of 60 and 84. It's just a factor that is shared between numbers. So here are a couple more problems I'd like you to look at. Is 5 a common factor of 75 and 80? And is 8 a common factor of 72 and 96? So what you want to do here is figure out first, is 5 a factor at all of 75? Think about that for just a moment. And it is, because 15 times 5 is 75. And then think about, try to figure out, is 5 a factor of 80? And it is, because it's obviously only one more 5 away. So 5 times 16 is 80, so 5 is a common factor of 75 and 80. And the last one is 8 a common factor of 72 and 96? We know that 8 times 9 is 72, so we know 8 is a factor of 72, but is it also a factor of 96? Yes, it is, because 12 times 8 equals 96, so it is a common factor. I hope you enjoyed this lesson on factors. Please watch it again if you were confused. Make sure you post 2 questions or comments on Edmodo. Thanks!